Hello, my name is Carol T. Johnson, and I'm the manager of the Walpole Farmers Market. And today I'd like to welcome our guest, Silpa Pande, and she is one of our vendors at the Walpole Market this summer, and she's continuing to be selling her wonderful product. She's the owner of Melt in Your Mouth, and she makes fabulous and delicious and wonderful cupcakes and cakes. Could you tell us a little bit about your products?
Sure, thank you so much. Thank you, Carol, first of all, for giving me the opportunity to be here and to share this with everybody. So I own Melt in Your Mouth. This is an all-natural residential bakery, and I specialize in cakes and cupcakes, and I make everything from scratch, including the colors. The colors are made from plants and vegetables, and there are no artificial flavors, preservatives, or no artificial ingredients.
Well, I know I recently bought one of your cakes for a birthday celebration at my house, and it was the most delicious chocolate cake with raspberry frosting and chocolate ganache.
Yeah.
It was just heavenly. Now how do you make your cakes actually? They're just delicious, and they're nothing like anything I've ever had before. How do you manage to produce those?
So I actually think that the difference that you're talking about, that they're nothing like what you've had before. I've heard this from a lot of other people, and thank you for the compliments, and I'm glad that everybody liked the cakes. The difference actually comes from just the fact that they're very simple. There is nothing added into them, and the fresh ingredients make a difference. I don't add any shortening to extend the shelf life like what you might find at other places, commercial bakeries, so on and so forth. It's all butter or all whipped cream, but also the fact that even the ingredients that go into them, they are fresh, they are natural, and no additives. So,
how did you get started with this? I know, let me just tell a little story about how we met.
Sure.
I was looking into how to get a farmer's market started, and I happened to be at the Norfolk Aggie during their plant sale.
I remember that.
And I happened to say something about a farmer's market, and you came up to me and said, "Oh, you're going to be doing a farmer's market. I think I'd be interested in that." So could you tell us how, was that your first thought when I met you that day, or?
Yes. So just taking a step back, just a little history into how I started. I never in my wildest dreams thought I would be doing this commercially, baking commercially. I am a high-tech product manager, so I worked in the high-tech software, high-tech manufacturing industry for 13 years. And I had my daughter 2 years ago, and last year I decided to quit my job and spend more time with my daughter. But I've been baking cakes for 6 to 7 years now, and there are all these people who came to me and started asking me, "Hey, can you bake a cake for my mother's birthday? Please, I would pay you. Can you do this? Can you do that cake?" And I said, I really enjoy doing this. And I know that none of the other bakeries that I know around Walpole do all natural stuff, all natural cakes and cupcakes. Neither could I find any allergy focused bakeries. And that was important to me, because when I had a nursing daughter, when she was young, less than a year old, and when she was nursing, she had a milk protein allergy. And I was on a dairy-free, soy-free diet because I was nursing. And I have a sweet tooth, obviously you can understand, given this. I could not find anything good that was dairy-free. And I really was going crazy because I love sweets and I couldn't find anything. So it was very important to me to do something which was all natural, which catered to people with allergies, and do something tasty. So that was where this idea came from, and people came to me asking about it. I said, let me do this. I enjoy doing this, and it'll also give me time to spend time with my daughter as well as do something I like. So that's how it started.
Ah, that's wonderful. Well, you have been such an asset at the farmers market this summer.
Thank
People
you.
they line up at your booth to buy your cupcakes. I know I always try to get a cupcake or a piece of cake by the end of the day. And so many times, unless I ask you to reserve something for me, it's gone. Your products are just absolutely delicious.
Thank you.
And I thank you for coming to the Walpole Farmers Market, because we have 3 farmers, but you need more than just farmers at a farmers market.
And I thank you for the opportunity, for giving me that opportunity, because like I said, this was the first time I'm doing this, and that was the first thing I did commercially. When people have started asking me, I said, okay, let me start doing this at the farmers market. And you were the first person that I talked to, and you said you wanted me to be at the farmers market, and you were an excellent organizer. I loved the farmers market because not only did it give me an opportunity to sell my products, it was really like my learning ground, because like I said, I never had a background in doing this commercially. So the people of Walpole were so supportive, so warm. I mean, they have really, I get emotional talking about this, because they have really embraced me with open arms, and I never thought I would get as much positive response as I've gotten now. I mean, within a month of starting it on Facebook, I had 100 likes. Now I have 200 likes, and it's less than 4 months I've started this. So this is amazing, and the farmers market was like a family, you know that. It was great. I've learned from so many others at the other vendors at the farmers market, and I really think town of Walpole is great, and people support small businesses, and if the product is good, they'll definitely support it. So.
Well, I love Walpole too, and it's a great place to be, and it's very exciting to have our farmers market located where we are at Springbrook Park. It's amazing to see all the traffic that we get, and there's wonderful parking there. So it's a good place to have a farmers market. Now, the farmers market season's over. We ended on October 7th. Mm-hmm. So I know that you've been quite busy since. Now, what is it you're doing with the Walpole schools? I know the PACs have been after you, haven't they?
Yes. So when the farmers market was ending, or actually while it was getting to the close, the schools, I have gotten in partnership with the schools, the PACs, and I'm doing some fundraisers with them. We've already had a silent auction and a pumpkin carving event, so that I've partnered with the PACs.
Oh, that was at Fisher School, wasn't it?
Yes, it was at the Fisher School, and I heard it was a resounding success. So it was great. I really liked working with the schools, and we are a community after all. So I would like to support the schools, and they put my name in their brochures. So it's actually a win-win thing.
That's good. And I also heard you were at Jarvis Harvest. Now, how did that work out? I wasn't able to attend it. So how did that work?
It was great. So back to your question about now that the farmers market is over, what am I doing? So these are the things I'm doing. I'm working with the schools. I'm doing local events. So Walpole had a Jarvis Fest. It was amazing. I think I sold like close to 10 dozen cupcakes.
Oh my goodness. 10 dozen? That's 120.
Yes.
How many ovens do you have?
I only have 2. And there are nights when I only sleep 2 hours. But you know what? You've seen this at the farmers market. I think they've even posted it on their Facebook page. Somebody shouted while they were leaving that, I love these cupcakes, they're awesome. So when you hear that feedback, it really makes me feel that it's all that hard work is worth it. So the 2 hours of sleep, I just forget it. I mean, I go back home that Saturday, take a nap, once the event is over. But it's great. So I do these local events like Jarvis Fest, and I'm actually going to do one with the Norfolk schools.
Oh.
They're having one in December. It's called Merry Market. So I'm doing that. And then I also am right now at Norfolk Indoor Farmers Market.
Oh,
So
where's that one located?
that one's at the Grange Hall. It's inside Grange Hall, and it's up till December 16th, I think. It's every Saturday from 10 to 2. And this is the first year that they're doing that. But I think this coming Saturday will be the third Saturday. But it started to pick up. I mean, last week was pretty busy, so it was great. So I'm doing that, and then I have an open house at this Sunday coming up, and then I do different events like that. So there's the open house, and then I'm going to do one for the Walpole Moms Club specifically.
Ah.
And then I also intend to do like a cupcake decorating party thing for kids.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Yes,
sounds like a lot
I'm
of fun.
thinking that I'll do that before the holidays kick in, just so the little ones maybe can do something for their holidays. So
And that might be a great thing to do during school vacations too.
right.
Because I know when I was a young parent, I was always looking for some activity for my kids to do that was, and kids love to.
Yeah.
And your cupcakes, well, one thing, I was a teacher for many years, a preschool teacher, and parents would bring cupcakes in for the kids' birthdays, and they would have this gobby, awful frosting on it. And that's all the kids would eat. They wouldn't eat the cake. But your cupcakes, I've watched the kids, they eat the frosting first, but then they eat the cake, every single crumb. And it's one, and your cupcakes are normal size, they're not teeny tinies.
Yeah.
So and I think it must be because the frosting doesn't gag them.
Yes, I kind of agree. So it must be because it's not, I've heard this again from a lot of parents that they don't mind giving my cupcakes because, not to toot my own horn, but I've heard that it doesn't taste waxy, it doesn't taste
Right.
heavy. So it's light. Again, I don't, I know I'm repeating myself, but I really cannot stress the fact that that comes from not having any artificial ingredients. And that is actually important to me. I'm passionate about that because, like I said, I have a 2-year-old daughter. And as any protective mother, when my daughter was born, I was looking up about, I became more conscious about what I was going to give her. And I was looking up about the sweets, and I could not believe the effects of artificial dyes and colors. I mean, after I've done my research, I figured that not only does, as many of us know, artificial colors cause hyperactivity, but that's one of the I guess, least problematic things. I also, from my research, found that they cause lower amounts, but still amounts that could be cancer-inducing, and that could be carcinogenic. So these things, as a protective mother, made me decide that I'm not going to give those to my daughter. And I know she would get a sweet tooth because I and my husband both have a sweet tooth. So, like I said, I am extremely passionate about the fact that I'd like to do all natural cakes and cupcakes, and nothing artificial, no artificial colors go into that. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought there. But yeah, so that's important to me. I'm passionate about that.
And I know the first cake that you brought to the farmer's market, and of which I got a slice, was this awesome lemon cake. And I told my friends about your lemon cake. And you never brought the lemon cake again to the farmer's market. But you brought every single Saturday, you brought a different flavor of cake.
Yes.
Now, what kind of flavors do you have?
So I actually pride myself in the fact that I can do a variety of flavors. you will not find a flavor list on my Facebook page. And it's only because, like I said, I really pride myself in the fact that you think of a flavor, I most probably can make it. And also the reason is my knowledge expands as I hear from people and they say, hey, I think I have heard about this flavor. Do you think you can do that? And I'm like, oh, that sounds excellent. Because really, that's how the lemon raspberry thing came. One of my friends asked me to make a lemon coconut cake with raspberry filling. I made a lemon coconut cake with lemon curd filling for Easter, and she said, can you make a lemon coconut cake with raspberry filling? And now that's one of the favorites that actually sells a lot. That's one of the best sellers. So that's how new flavors just come in, and I don't want to restrict myself to saying these are the only flavors I have. But when people call me and they ask me to place an order, what flavors do you have? I tell them I can do any flavor, but these are the popular flavors. So there are most popular flavors like the one that you ordered, chocolate cake with raspberry filling and chocolate ganache, lemon coconut raspberry, vanilla strawberry, chocolate raspberry. So these are, peach layer is one of the favorites again. And then I also have special holiday flavors, like for fall, whether it's Halloween or Thanksgiving, there is fall specials like spiced apple, salted caramel. Ooh. That one was one of the best sellers. And then the other one, I don't know if you remember, but I had to get this 2 weeks in a row because every single week this sold out within the first hour. And that's the pumpkin spice cake with cream cheese frosting. Maple cream cheese frosting. I missed
that one.
Yes.
I missed both weeks. I missed that one.
Yes, because I would get that within an hour, it would be gone. So the first week people said, I took a poll on my Facebook page. That's the other thing that I do. I ask people, hey, do you want this or that for this farmer's market? So I got that the next week, and again, it was gone in an hour. So those are my fall favorites. And then I have other flavors for Christmas coming up. Like I'm thinking of, or I am going to have gingerbread latte. Oh. And then I'm going to have red velvet peppermint.
Oh.
And, and I'm going to have white chocolate peppermint.
Oh my.
So these are the ones that I'll also have at my open house that I'm going to have on November 12th.
Ah, very good. I know one cupcake that was very popular because one little boy was crying because he didn't get his, and so a friend of mine said, "Oh, I bought one," and she
traded
gave him hers, and it was, my children used to like those Wonder cupcakes that were chocolate and had cream inside.
Yes.
And was it similar to that?
Yes, it's
now,
like.
Tell me the secret. How do you get the cream inside?
So it's actually quite simple, and
you're not going to tell me.
I can't tell you. You just have to cut the cupcake.
Oh.
And then you have to fill it with the piping.
And then you put the top back on?
Yes, you put the top back on.
Oh.
That's it. Yes.
Oh.
But it's actually getting that cream. So it's making sure that you have cream that's consistent enough.
And
to
so what
stay
kind
inside.
Now, is it a frosting that you put inside?
No, it's actually it's thinner than frosting.
Oh.
It's like custard, but it's not custard because custard cannot stay outside without being refrigerated. So it's like the consistency of custard, but it's vanilla cream.
Ah.
Yes.
So I never did manage to buy one of those either.
So I know those are similar to the hostess cupcake, the hostess cakes.
That was what I was thinking of, the hostess cupcakes.
Yes.
But Wonder Bread makes them. I was a big Wonder Bread fan when my children were small.
Oh, wow.
So we had an outlet store near us, so that helped too. But,
great.
You know, when I'm thinking about it now, I was really filling them full of carcinogens. So kids, don't listen to what I'm saying. I wasn't intentional. It was an accident. So, so now, I know you're coming back to the farmers market next summer. You have to come back to the farmers market next summer.
I will.
Need you. We need you. And one of our plans is, and I'm sure that'll be fine with you, is we'd like to start earlier in the year, because our farmers they have some spring vegetables, and like asparagus. I love asparagus.
Oh, me too.
Even though you can almost buy it in the store year round, but it's not local. So this would be their own asparagus. And the other spring vegetables, spinach. I love spinach. That's farm grown. So so we'll be starting earlier. But that doesn't. That has no. You don't have to plan ahead for that one, I'm sure. But so
yeah, but I would love to. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Good. One of the nice things is the beautiful table that you always set up. That's very attractive too, that the way it's set up, and you also have a wonderful banner in the back of your table. Now that must have cost you a lot to set up all of your materials, because this was brand new for you.
Yes, yes.
So it's a big investment for you.
It was an investment initially. I have, when I got into it, I said there are things that I cannot, I cannot go without. The banner was one of the things, obviously the business cards and cupcake carriers. It's surprising to me. People actually ask me, oh, do you have like the cupcake holders that I can carry my cupcakes in when I place an order? And I'm like, yes, absolutely. I would not have been able to sell without having those. So those are investment costs that you had to kind of, you kind of had to know beforehand that, yes, I can't do without these.
Well, and one good thing, and for me, as the farmer market manager, is knowing that you've invested so much. So of course you'll continue coming to the farmers market, and of course the farmers market will be there for this summer and many summers to come, because it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yes, and I am so happy and proud of you that the farmers market has been such a huge success, because I know it didn't do that well the last year or a couple of years ago. Just the fact that you guys have thought about, okay, what's the best day and time that we should have the farmers market, and where, because you guys also have changed the place where the farmers market is organized now.
Well, that Springbrook Park hasn't always been there. The space was there, but as the way it's been manicured and developed with, and with that beautiful gazebo, that wasn't always there. So, so we were able to take advantage of this great location, and I think it's important too that to be a local market. So you're a Walpole person, and we have one of our farmers is the only farmer in Walpole, and the other two farmers are from nearby communities. So, and everybody who is at the farmers market as a vendor is local. So that's a very important for all of us too. Now, is there anything that you can see in the future for yourself or for the farmers market that we could work on? Any ideas?
I can't really think of any earth-shattering ideas, except for the fact that maybe we should think about how we can extend the duration, because we all had such a successful farmers market.
Right.
All of us had a great season. So I'm sure everybody would love to actually do it for more number of weeks. So if we can do that, I think that would be awesome. And without going into how to, just thinking about just brainstorming what, I would say maybe if there is a way, we could also do like a winter market, something indoor, because I know a couple of other vendors at the farmers market also wanted to do something in the winter, and it would be very hard to do this as just a seasonal summer thing.
Right.
So
I hear you.
That'd be great.
There used to be a winter farmers market in Walpole, and so that's a good thought to be thinking of. What we really want to do is to have the summer one a success before we start branching out.
Of course.
But the one thing I think I need to do is to work with the weather to make sure that we have gorgeous weather all summer. We were very lucky. We only had to, we canceled the very first one because of the threatening of thunder and lightning, and you cannot have a farmer's market with lightning. And with thunder, there's always lightning. So, but we only had to cancel once.
Yes.
And I think we only had rain once.
Once, yes.
So
we did have great weather.
We were very fortunate.
Yes, yeah.
But
absolutely.
so if I could figure out how to work with the weatherman.
If you can, let me know, please.
Wouldn't it be wonderful if I could figure out a way to do that?
Yes.
So anyhow, so this was great, Silpa. I've enjoyed meeting with you today, and thank you so much for coming. And thank you for coming to our farmers market. You've made the Walpole Farmers Market a special place.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and thank you so much for giving me this opportunity and giving me the opportunity to actually be at the farmers market. And as much as I have given to others, I got a lot from the farmers market as well. Just the thought that I hear from a lot of people that I've made their day a little sweeter, a little special. That's great to hear.
I like that. Melt in your mouth.
Thank you so much, Carol.
Thank you.
Yep.